Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. So this is a how-to video of Tower Simulator 3. I wanted to share with you a new tool I've been using recently that I have found extremely helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use an airport that I've never used before to demonstrate this. I'm probably just going to go with Frankfurt here because I want a little bit of activity, potentially a lot of activity. You know, I'm not going to run too terribly long, so we're going to have to kind of see where things end up. So I want something busy, but the intent is to kind of show you how this works in a reasonable time, say 15 to 30 minutes of movement. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to load into the airport. I think I'm going to go ahead and load in, let's say at 11 a.m. We're going to do the full traffic density. I've never done this airport, so I don't know how terribly busy it is. But what we're doing is, I'm talking about TS3 Assistant for Tower Simulator 3. You can get this off the official Feel There Discord channel. It's something that's developed by a developer. It's not created by Feel There. But basically, this is an automated strip management system. And we're going to see planes basically come in here. Then they're going to go to ground, sequence and runway, and then same thing, arrivals are going to start to appear here, then they'll show up in the sequence for arrival and then ground arrival, and then if they're crossing runways and so forth, they go here. So we'll see how this plays out, because I may maybe just cobble pieces together to show how things work. And then you've got buttons down here. You can turn on dark mode if you prefer that. You can lock the window on top, which I don't normally do. Preferences here kind of show you how things are sequenced, so you can see things will go, you know, departures come through here, go through the runway and then out, and then arrivals come in this way, as I mentioned. And this just simply tells you it's connected to the game, and then you can obviously buy a coffee for the developer, and then there's just a little bit of help that doesn't have a I haven't actually used that much. So all you need to do is download this, extract it, and then you simply run TS3 Assistant.exe when you're ready to do things. Now I'm going to have to take up some real estate. I'm not sure if this is large enough to see things. I hope it is, because basically you're not going to be able to see much of what's going on in the game at this point. Again, having never run this airport, I know these are parallel. I'm simply going to use 2.5 center for arrivals, and then we'll use 2.5 right and 2.5 left for departures, assuming, like most airports, that there's a good bit of departures happening. And you know what? I'm gonna actually go to 1600 later in the afternoon, where maybe we've got a good amount of departures, maybe a few less arrivals. So we're going to start running here. I basically got the main view here that's going on, and so I'm going to show you here what we're seeing. And we're just going to be able to, I'm going to lift this up, and I'm probably just going to keep it here. So the nice thing is here, you can see the strips loaded in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are boarding. So this gives me an immediate view that things are happening.
Ground, Lufthansa 1468 with information kilo, requesting push and start.
So the thing that we're not able to see here, yeah, so I need it about that big, because you can see the name. Lufthansa 1468, pushback approved, expect runway 25 left.
Ground, runway 25 left, pushback approved. Lufthansa 1468.
You know what, I think I'm going to run to 25 right.
Frankfurt ground, Condor 2208 heavy with information kilo, requesting push and start.
Condor 2208 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right. I think I'm going to run everything up there.
Ground, runway 25 right, pushback
because we're
approved.
arriving here.
Condor 2208 heavy.
And then we'll just let things go around. So, alright, I think that's the Lufthansa. And then the Condor is likely to be down here somewhere.
Frankfurt ground, Lufthansa 980 with information kilo, requesting push and start.
Lufthansa 980, pushback approved, expect runway 24 right.
Ground, runway 25 right, Pushback approved.
So the other thing you can
Lufthansa
do
980.
when you hover, it shows you what they're reading back. It shows you where they're going, so you can see this is going to Dublin. You don't have to figure it out, but most importantly, it's got the call sign, so when you're trying a new airport like this, it just makes it super easy. And so you can see it starts to fill in this
Frankfurt ground,
information.
China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy with information kilo. Requesting push and start.
China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 25 left.
Ground, runway 25 left, pushback approved. China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy.
Lufthansa 1468, runway 25 right. So now it's going to change.
Runway 25 right.
And this is the
Lufthansa
taxi.
1468.
This is the
Frankfurt
taxi
ground,
route. It's
Lufthansa 1468 ready to taxi. Frankfurt Tower, Ocean 513 on final 25 center.
so you can see it's going to Tivat.
Frankfurt ground. Condor 2208 Heavy ready to taxi.
Condor 2208, runway 25 right.
Say again.
Condor 2208 Heavy, runway 25 right. I think I left off the heavy.
Runway 25 right. Condor
So
2208
now this one's
Heavy.
going to call in because it got brighter. So it's coming from
Frankfurt
Palma de
ground,
Mallorca.
Lufthansa 980 ready to taxi.
I'm waiting for them to call in.
Frankfurt ground. Condor 2426 Heavy with information kilo. Requesting push and start.
Okay, it's just not going to call. Lufthansa 980, runway 25 right. Now
Runway
let's just
25 right.
see what's
Lufthansa
happening here. I
980.
think they're going to stay out of each other's way. But you can see how it moved from whatever PL is, I'm not sure. But then it goes to ground departure. Then it'll go to sequence departure.
Frankfurt ground, China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy ready to taxi.
China Southern 404 Heavy, runway 25 left.
Frankfurt ground.
Didn't take
Lufthansa
it.
1386 with information kilo. Requesting push and start.
China Southern 404 Heavy, runway 25 left. What is
Negative.
going on?
China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy.
China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy, runway 25 left.
Runway 25 left.
Okay.
China Southern
So
Cargo
what happened
404
there is
Heavy.
cargo is there,
Frankfurt Tower.
which you can see
Lufthansa
there.
993 on final 25 center.
Alright, so everything's going there. And you can see when things are taking a while. So this one, I don't know, it may have called in. Ocean 513, runway 25 center, cleared to land. Lufthansa 993, runway 25 center, cleared to land. So this gives you, as you can see, a very
Runway
clear
25 center,
visibility.
Clear to land. Ocean 513.
Runway 25 center. Cleared to land. Lufthansa 993.
But as things kind of
Frankfurt
line
ground.
up and so
Lufthansa
forth.
340 with information kilo. Requesting push and start.
Lufthansa 1386, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right.
Ground. Runway 25 right. Pushback approved. Lufthansa 1386.
Lufthansa 340, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right. So extremely slow through here.
Ground. Runway 25 right. Pushback approved. Lufthansa 340.
Now I'm waiting on this Condor because it's here and it's going to get in the way of these planes. So I don't want a problem, obviously. But these other two are pushing off. Here comes the
Frankfurt
ocean.
ground. Croatia 411 with information kilo. Requesting push and start.
Okay, so Croatia's up there. Croatia 411, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right.
Ground. Runway 25 right. Pushback approved.
And now we can
Croatia
see
411.
ocean is going to C5 at N3. So there's N3. So it's likely to go back there somewhere. So we'll see where it finally turns off here.
Frankfurt Tower,
it's right
Lufthansa
there.
3905 on final 25 center.
Lufthansa 3905, runway 25 center, cleared to land. So we can see it's been 3 minutes
Runway
since they
25
called in.
center, cleared
It'll
to land.
eventually turn
Lufthansa
red at 5
3905.
minutes. Ocean 513, taxi to terminal. So now let's see where it's going
Taxi
to
to
go.
terminal.
All right.
Ocean 513.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 1386 ready to
So
taxi.
we can see it's Euro Wings is the livery. Again, I've never done this airport, so it's definitely interesting to me.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 340 ready to taxi.
All right, Croatia 411 should be good. Okay, I'm going to wait on that Lufthansa until this Ocean gets up here. Okay. China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy, runway 25 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. So now we're going to see them
Runway
go. Now it
25
says
left,
TO
cleared for immediate
for
takeoff upon
takeoff.
reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. China Southern Cargo 404 Heavy.
And so
Frankfurt
basically,
ground. Croatia 411 ready to taxi.
so anything with a large, like all caps, is something it's waiting for you to interact with. So here we're going to call this one finally. Condor 2426 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 25 right.
Ground. Runway 25 right. Pushback approved. Condor 2426 heavy.
Okay, so now we know it's this. Lufthansa 980, runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 25 right. Cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Lufthansa 980.
Lufthansa 340, runway 25 right. Croatia 411, runway 25 right. Lufthansa 1113, runway 25 center, cleared to land. So again, the strips help you
Runway
see what's
25
happening
right.
and what you need to
Lufthansa
deal with.
340.
Runway 25 right. Croatia 411.
Now again,
Runway
this
25
one is
center,
an
cleared
arrival.
to land.
I'm waiting.
Lufthansa 1113.
So it's
Frankfurt
going...
Tower, Lufthansa 1113 on final 25 center.
Okay. So he's coming in there.
Frankfurt ground, Scandinavian 676 with information kilo, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 676, pushback approved. Expect runway 25 right. Lufthansa 1386, runway 25 right. So we're going to get him moving.
Ground,
Again,
runway
everything's
25 right,
moving around
pushback
here.
approved. Scandinavian 676.
Runway 25 right. Lufthansa 1386.
Okay, so Delta 1468, it's waiting to take off. That's why it's a
Frankfurt
large
ground.
takeoff.
Condor 2426 heavy
And you
ready
can
to
see
taxi.
now, this one is taken off, and at 500 it went away. So we'll watch the next one a little bit
Frankfurt
clearer.
ground, Lufthansa 720 heavy with information kilo, requesting push and start.
Lufthansa 993, taxi to terminal via Lima.
Taxi to terminal via Lima. Lufthansa 993.
All right, so hopefully that will clear. Lufthansa 1468, runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So now that one will move.
Runway 25 right. Cleared for immediate takeoff
Gotta
upon
move
reaching
him.
altitude 500. Contact departure. Lufthansa 1468.
Condor 2426 heavy, runway 25 right.
Runway 25 right. Condor 2426 heavy.
Frankfurt Tower, Lufthansa 1367 on final 25 center.
Lufthansa 1367, runway 25 center, cleared to land. So move from here to there.
Runway 25 center, clear to land. Lufthansa
Okay. So
1367.
now when he takes off, you're going to see him move
Frankfurt
to
ground,
departure.
Scandinavian 676 ready to taxi.
And then you'll start to see, so you can see their speed, and you'll see their height when they're
Frankfurt ground,
going.
Lufthansa 320 with information kilo, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 676, runway 25 right. So there we
Runway
go.
25 right.
And so these
Scandinavian
numbers
676.
show you what's in the queue. So if I have 6, which I'll probably have shortly, you know, they're going to stand on each other. Lufthansa 3, 9, or 5, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal. Lufthansa 395.
So that'll stay out of the way. Okay, so you can see he's taken off. He's passing 200 feet. At 500 feet, he will disappear from my strips because I'm no longer controlling him. But that way, if you had a bad contact departure, you'd see that. Condor 2208 Heavy, runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Condor 2208 Heavy.
Alright, I think they'll stay clear of each other again. So let's see, we'll call this one Lufthansa 720 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right.
Ground, runway 25 right, pushback approved. Lufthansa 720 Heavy.
Alright, where's this one going? He's
Frankfurt
going there.
Tower, Lufthansa 1349er on final 25 center.
Lufthansa 1113, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal. Lufthansa 1113.
Alright, let's see, which path is he going to go? He's going to go up there. He's going to come through this intersection, which will probably be okay. So Condor's finally starting to roll. 2 minutes on this other Lufthansa, but they're all packed together.
6 Heavy with information kilo, requesting push and start.
So we're going to let this one come in. We're going to leave Egypt Air, and again, so there's Egypt Air, and you can see we're going to have Euro. It's probably charter, but it looks like Charrier. So that's a misspelling, I would say, in the file. But now the one that went has gone away. So you can look in your bin if you want to see those. So the yellow are arrivals, the blues are departures. There's also stats, so you can see 4 takeoffs, 4 landings between 1600 and 1700. This is your radio cues. Alright. Condor 2426 Heavy, runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So we see him ready.
Runway 25 right.
Right there.
Cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Condor 2426 Heavy.
Delta 340, runway 25 right.
Runway 25 right. Lufthansa 340.
Frankfurt ground, Lufthansa 720 Heavy ready to taxi.
Lufthansa 340, runway 25 right. I think I said Delta because I saw the
Runway
D.
25 right. Lufthansa 340.
Frankfurt
So
Tower,
there they go.
German cargo 625 Heavy
Or
on final 25
maybe.
center.
Where is that one? Is that 240 or am I crazy?
Frankfurt ground,
Oh, it's not.
Eurocharier 7108 with information kilo, requesting push and start.
340 is over there. Lufthansa 720 Heavy, runway 25 right.
Runway 25 right. Lufthansa 720 Heavy.
So now he'll move. Lufthansa 320, pushback to prove, expect runway 25 right.
Ground, runway 25 right, pushback approved. Lufthansa 320.
Euro Charter 7108, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right.
Ground, runway 25 right, pushback approved. Eurocharier 7108.
Okay, so it took it, even though it was kind of a messy explanation. He's going, oh, up there, huh? So let's see, I might want to... Lufthansa 1367, taxi to terminal, hold short of taxiway Lima.
Taxi to terminal, hold short of taxiway Lima. Lufthansa 1367.
Alright, so now we're getting this one. German cargo. German cargo 625 heavy. Runway 25 center, cleared to land.
Runway 25 center, cleared to land. German cargo 625 heavy.
And then we have Ice Air. We have all these others. Oh, I
Going
missed
around
one.
Lufthansa 1349er.
I wasn't paying attention, but that's my own fault, because I'm trying to explain this to you as well.
Frankfurt ground. Lufthansa 236 with information Lima. Requesting push and start.
Lufthansa 340, runway 25 right. Cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So again, he should vanish at 500.
Runway 25 right. Cleared for immediate takeoff upon
And now
reaching
they're on
altitude
the runway.
500, contact departure. Lufthansa 340.
And then this is Ice
Frankfurt
Air.
Tower, Ice Air 5221, final 25 center.
Frankfurt ground, Lufthansa 320 ready to taxi.
Lufthansa 320, runway 25 right. Egypt Air 786 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 25 right.
Runway 25 right, Lufthansa 320. Ground, runway 25 right.
So we're going to
pushback
leave
approved.
that Lufthansa,
Egypt Air
because it's at
786
that
heavy.
gate there.
Frankfurt ground, Eurocharrier 7108 ready to taxi.
Okay. Euro Charter 7108, runway 25 right. So now
Runway
we're
25
moving
right.
over.
Eurocharrier
Whoop, see,
7108.
this one didn't clear. Lufthansa 1349er, contact ground. Whoops. Lufthansa 1349er, contact departure. I don't know why I said contact ground. Because I'm getting flustered. Alright. Ice Air 522, runway 25 center, cleared to land.
Runway 25 center, cleared to land. Ice Air 522.
Lufthansa 1367, continue taxi. So now
Continue
you can
taxi.
see it's going to
Lufthansa
8111,
1367.
or 811, I should say. And now we'll get
Frankfurt
clear
ground,
of that.
Lufthansa 146
So there
with
it goes.
information Lima. Requesting push and start.
We'll see how far he goes. Looks like he's going a little further. Alright. And then again, we've got this
Frankfurt
one here.
Tower, Lufthansa 23 and final 25 center.
Lufthansa 23, runway 25 center, cleared to land. Croatia 411, runway 25 right, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 25 center, cleared to land. Lufthansa 23.
Runway 25 right.
So now
Cleared
they're
for
going.
immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Croatia 411.
Frankfurt ground, Egypt Air 786 heavy ready to taxi.
Alright, so I'm going to pause there. I think that's kind of shown you enough. But, you know, just to be able to look at it, as you hover over everything, because you can, again, like I have that plane selected, so you could do selected airplane info, and it shows, you know, Croatia, which I just called. So you can do that, you can hover over it, but you can see it's got the aircraft type. It's showing you in the upper right corner who they're contacting. So down here in the frequencies, you can see this is your ground, this is your tower, that's your departure. I'm going to expand this larger so you can see kind of what it looks like. Because normally what I'll do is I'll have this on a screen off to the side at this size. And you can see there's a lot of information. I can get way more than 5. Again, this is the taxi info as it's set. So it's giving you that info. You know, at P4 I think is the taxiway that's coming in. So again, if I did 25 right at something else, if I was doing short takeoffs, it's going to show me that. You know, everything's green, yellow, red, so you can avoid timeouts and you can avoid issues like that. But this has honestly been a game changer for me. It's made airports even like this. Like, if I was playing this normally, there's a lot of call signs here I don't know. I'd probably be having to pull up my command window because I don't know that things would make sense, like German Cargo or Egypt Air. Like, you know, you're not always, in as busy as this airport is, you're not able to keep up in all cases. Because again, I mean, at this point, I've run 12 planes through that have already taken off, and I've got all these strips on the board. You know, and they do seem to kind of come in sequence. So you can see, like, you know, basically we've got 24 planes because O24 is there, O23, then O25. So they do seem to assign the strips. The number below is when they're either going to call, it's for departure, this is when they're going to call in. This is when they appear on your scope for arrivals. And then again, most importantly, if you don't know the airports, so you can see out, you know, Lima, Bravo, Bravo, Golf is Burgas, wherever that is. Leo, India, Echo, Oscar, Olbia. And then going to Beijing, going to Copenhagen, Gdansk in Poland, Krakow in Poland, Hyderabad in India. So again, you know, this it would be an extremely entertaining airport for me to try, because it's just there's planes going to places, there's air carriers I don't know. You know, the reality is you're playing this at this level and it's very fast. I can't pay a lot of attention to it, but in the little bit I can. So, you know, this is a local from Dresden to here in Frankfurt. So, you know, a short Lufthansa flight. You know, this airport's the 4th busiest in, I think, the world, it said. It might have been in Europe. But still, it's clearly busy, as I expected here. And we've gone, you know, as you can see, 1619, it's synced up with the game and so forth. So, you know, barely 20 minutes in, so we're basically dealing with more than one plane an hour. But, you know, the nice thing is you can see these are coming up, so you know you're going to have a plane calling in literally in a minute. You know, we're going to get this Lufthansa calling in, then Flying Bulgaria is going to come in a minute after that, and then a Lufthansa a minute after that. And then, you know, once again, it's 1609. This Lufthansa showed up on the scope, but it hasn't called in yet. So, I mean, you can see you're getting a long lead time, you know, where this one called in at 1608. And, you know, we have moved it, because again, it's lowercase land, so it's clear, it's green, it's ready to go. I don't really pay much attention to these queues, but, you know, medium delay, low delay, you know, stuff like that. You know, so you can see, because basically if you hover over this, you can see radio queues, last plane called. I've not played with the departure sequencing. It's showing you the airport. You know, here are the departures, here are the arrivals, so you can see what runways you're using. So again, we've got 5 that are there, the other, you know, and I think that's, you know, 5 that have taken off and 1 that has taken off the other runway. You can click on this, it'll show you all the gates. So again, the yellows are arrivals that will be coming in, the blues are departures that are coming in. So, you know, it gives you a lot of information. You know, if you pull up, I clicked on, but when I click on that, you can also now see, you know, what's coming up and everything. If you want, you know, if you think that'll help you, and you can see, you can show history, you can export the report, so you can get some visibility of what's, you know, what's going to be going on. I think this is restarter, you know, and then, you know, again, you hover over it, you can see, maybe it just shows that one because it's too small, I don't know, because obviously as I'm hovering over these, it's not, but, you know, again, it tells you very quickly. So if I don't know where something is, like I brought up, what was it? I don't even remember. Is it this one? Burgas. So Buck 1078. So Burgas, there you go. Burgas, Bulgaria. Now I've learned it's in Bulgaria. You know, so it just takes advantage of the info that's available to the game and just gives you a lot of capability, but most importantly because it moves the strips on its own, it just helps you stay organized, and you don't have all the other thing you've got of managing the strips manually. Plus they update, they do a lot of things, and more importantly, as I said, like if you look at all this, like you can see the calls, you can see when they happened. So you can see at the bottom, 1606, Frankfurt ground, Croatia 411 with information kilo requesting push and start. It's literally the calls, and then we called, pushback approved, expect runway 25 right. They call us, they repeat that back. And then, they're ready to taxi, runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff. They got the command and they go and so forth. So you've got just lots of things going on. And the other thing, I didn't show too, like you can see the speed, like if it's coming in here. If I look at this Lufthansa, I can see it's 5,927 feet. Position's probably less useful, but it just gives you that information as things are approaching. Obviously here at this level, the altitude 0. I've never really checked. I think at the airports, maybe they're always at 0. In this one, since I haven't called, I don't have that info. But, it's at gate A21 at N5, taxiway N5 requesting push and start. This one's at N7. You can see where they're all going. So just a lot of information, and definitely I've enjoyed it a lot. I've been using it now for 4 or 5 sessions, aside from the testing I did, and have just really, really enjoyed it. I think there's a few other things out there. There's another one I've been wanting to try, but I've been having difficulty even getting it to start. And at this point, I've kind of fallen in love with this one, so I wanted to, share with you there. You can see in the title bar, it's giving you also that info that you have on the bottom. So yeah, see, I've never clicked on that, but you can see Terminal 1 Pier A, Cargo 1 North, so it's kind of showing you where it's going. If I do that here, these are all 25 right, 25 center, and then over here. So, it's at the apron, Pier A, so I'm not sure exactly specifically what some of those things mean, but over time I'm sure I'll learn, and if they're useful, that'll be great. Here, like we don't have the gate information once they've taken off because it doesn't matter. And then again, it's just interesting, what type of plane it is if you want. And the nice thing too is like it will tell me, it's an Embraer, I think. I'm not sure why. Now I'm hovering, and so an Embraer Regional Jet 190 or an Airbus Industries A340-300. Learning as you go, and so I've definitely been using this for, say, my historical series, because people are interested where the flights are going. They might be less interested, in other locations. And in a busy airport like this, it would be difficult. Plus, it's just hard to show multiple screens and so forth. But I think I've beat this pretty heavily on what you can do here. But hopefully this gives you some information, and maybe will get you interested in trying it. But I wanted to show it in action rather than just talk about it, and really do a video that was focused specifically on how this works and so forth. So hopefully this has helped. If you've got any questions, certainly drop me a note down below. I'll do my best to answer it. Certainly can't claim I'm an expert, because I've been using it for maybe a week, but I've spent many hours in it, and there's nothing about it that I haven't found helpful. There are no downsides that I've seen, because it actually helps. Like if you put in a call to a plane at a busy airport like this, I think I mentioned that on one of the planes. Like suddenly I realized it was still sitting over here. I'm like, and the time was ticking up. I'm like, clearly I haven't called correctly, where you don't see that visibility otherwise. So it helps me be a better air traffic controller. So definitely enjoying that as well. You know, I'd love to see something like that. You know, I don't know, maybe there are tools like that on VATSIM that help you and are automated strip management, but I'm guessing that's not the case because they want people to do things kind of realistically. But in a sim like this that isn't trying to make it incredibly difficult, you know, this works. And once again, an airport like this wouldn't be run with one controller otherwise, but this gives you that ability to run a lot more and manage a lot more traffic than you would have been able to, because it's helping you with that automation and moving things around and going forward. And I can't tell you how valuable the call sign information is and knowing what it is. And again, when you've got the larger screen, like when I had that China Southern Cargo, I think is what it was, like I would have been able to see that had I had this full screen like I normally have it, you know, over to the side. I'm going to wrap this up at this point. If you've liked the video but haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider that. And I will see you next time.